never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another reason to breathe this air.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. After a few days off, I am back. I don't know if everybody is aware or not, but I quite frequently check the amount of views that we get on the videos. And as long as they're normal or slightly above, slightly below, I'm okay with it. But when they all of a sudden drop way down, I kind of feel like, well, why am I doing videos if nobody is going to watch? And I noticed over the past week and a half, it seems like for whatever reason, our views have gone way down. So on Tuesday, I said, you know what? I'm going to go a few days without doing a video, and maybe then we'll get our views and viewers back. So we're back at it on this Sunday. Today I want to talk about the college football transfer portal, but more specifically for just the quarterbacks. I know I've already did one video about players transferring, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, but I figured today we'd make it easier and just talk quarterbacks. Now, I'm not going to sit here and name every quarterback because it's too many and you'd forget. Plus, there are some that most of you are going to say, who is that? So I might come back on here sometime during the off season and talk about them, but I don't know, because I feel like since they were players that most folks don't know about, I think personally nobody's going to care about them. But I wrote down 25 quarterbacks that are transferring, and I think these are the bigger name quarterbacks that most of you, if not all of you, are going to know without me even telling you who they are going to or where they come from, but I will still do that. So without further ado, let's talk about all these college football transfer portal quarterbacks. We've got Julian Sayin transferring from Alabama to Ohio State. Dylan Gabriel is now with his third FBS school. He goes from Oklahoma to Oregon. Riley Leonard goes from Duke to Notre Dame, and I understand leaving Duke because they lost their head coach, so chances are they take a big step back next year. And Riley Leonard probably wants his last season of college football to be memorable in a good way, not a bad way. But just about everybody has him projected to be NFL draft picks. I don't know why you don't just go ahead and leave for the draft. He chooses to come back for his senior season and transfer to Notre Dame. Cam Ward goes from Washington State to the Miami Hurricanes. Will Howard goes from Kansas State to Ohio State. And speaking of Ohio State, their quarterback, Kyle McCord, transfers to Syracuse. Another move I don't understand, because we know he's going to make more money in an NIL deal at Ohio State than he will at Syracuse. And Ohio State is a borderline playoff team, if not a playoff team, whereas Syracuse, you're going to be lucky to see a bowl game. But the rumor is he transferred from Ohio State because he heard rumors that they were trying to go out and add a quarterback, and he felt like his job was in jeopardy, and he felt like they lied to me. They didn't tell me they were trying to go after a quarterback. So his way of getting them back is to transfer. He chose Syracuse. DJU goes from Oregon State to Florida State. And when the football season starts, I encourage you to look at Oregon State's roster, and they're going to have almost a complete overhaul of talent, because two main reasons. One reason is that their head coach left to go to Michigan State. The other reason is they don't know their future. They're one of only two teams that stayed in the Pac-12 along with Washington State. And right now, the ACC doesn't want them. The Big Ten doesn't want them. The Big 12 doesn't want them. And, of course, the SEC doesn't want them. So this upcoming season, I believe Oregon State's schedule is going to be heavy on the Mountain West, because they don't have anybody else to play. So if you're a player on a team like that loses a coach and you don't know the school's future, most players are going to transfer. K.J. Jefferson, who played 85 years at Arkansas, transfers in his final year to Central Florida. Tyler Van Dyke transfers from Miami, Florida, to Wisconsin. Chandler Rogers goes from North Texas to California. Daquan Finn leaves Toledo and goes to Baylor. Brock Vandegrift, Georgia, to Kentucky. And I don't understand why everybody knows by now that Kentucky is a running team. And as long as Stoops is their coach, that's how they're going to be. They're going to be 60 to 65% run every game. So why these quarterbacks keep wanting to go there, I don't really understand. Jordan McLeod goes from James Madison to Auburn. Dante Moore, UCLA, to Oregon. Jaden Maivia, UNLV, to USC. And if you're a wrestling fan, you might recall that back in the day when The Rock first started, his name was Rocky Maivia. Sam Levitt goes from Michigan State to Arizona State. Aiden Childs goes from Oregon State to Michigan State. Darmarcus Davis is leaving Washington, but he's undecided on where he will end up. Will Rogers goes from Mississippi State to Washington. Curtis Rourke goes from Ohio to Indiana. TJ Finley breaks a record playing for the most teams. This has got to be his 12th team since he's been in college. He's going from Texas State to Western Kentucky. Max Johnson goes from Texas A&M to North Carolina. Grayson McCall goes from Coastal Carolina to NC State. Blake Shapen goes from Baylor to Mississippi State. And last but not least, Jaden DeLaura goes from Arizona to Texas State. And Jaden DeLaura is one of those you feel kind of bad for because he wasn't bad last year. But he got hurt, and Fafita had to come off the bench for Arizona, and the whole team looked better. So there's no way they're going to go back to Jaden DeLaura, so he's transferring to hopefully be a starter. But he got hurt, lost his job. That's something you can't really avoid. Everybody's going to get hurt at some point or another. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. A new type of broom came out. It is sweeping the nation. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.